What's up, good people? Welcome to the Lion's Den. I always wanted to do like a rawr.
Oh, wow. Well, you did it.
Does that sound corny?
A little bit.
Like rawr.
A little bit.
You know, I was thinking about, I know we got things to do, but you know, I was thinking about,
what's that?
It would be dope to have like a sponsor. Like, welcome to the Lion's Den, sponsored by Chick-fil-A.
That would be dope. Would that come with free Chick-fil-A?
I think they would have to throw some free Chick-fil-A.
I don't even know if I would.
Sponsorship.
Yeah. I don't even know if I would want. I would just want access to Chick-fil-A on Sundays.
That'll be cool.
Because there are times that I forget.
Well, look, man, this is your boy e.daniels. I'm sitting here with a young gun,
Davier, and we brought somebody with us.
Come on, we got a producer in the building.
We brought somebody with us.
We stepping up.
Hey, man.
Yo,
we stepping up.
What's up?
Ryan.
Good to be here.
Come on, man. Let's go.
My
Good
God.
to be here.
This should be fun.
I think so.
Fun. Well, yeah. Well, you know how we start.
How do we start?
With a good old affirmation.
What you got for us today?
Yeah, I came across this quote that I like. It says, "Many of you are going through trying times right now, so don't give up. Keep fighting. Push through. There's hope. There's light at the end of the tunnel. Keep your eyes on Jesus. He never leaves his children. He won't let you down. And remember, after rain, there's a rainbow. After a storm, there's calm. After the night, there's morning. And after an ending, there's a new beginning."
Yeah, that's dope.
I really like that, especially the morning part.
Yeah,
because I think a lot of the times we don't realize that morning is just now. You know, it doesn't have to be.
There's not an AM attached to morning.
Right. Right. So we can choose joy. We can choose hope.
Yeah,
and all of those things.
That's a good affirmation. We are so unapologetic about our faith. This is just the DNA of who we are.
Yeah.
I got a verse from Isaiah 43:1. I actually went over this on the Bible study not too long ago. It says, "But now, O Jacob, listen to the Lord who created you, O Israel, the one who formed you. He says, do not be afraid, for I have ransomed you. I've called you by name, and you are mine." I just love this verse, how he first identifies him as Jacob, and then you know the story, Jacob wrestles with God and changed his name to Israel. So he was created, then he was formed. Then he tells him, don't be afraid, for I've redeemed you, or I purchased you back. And then he gives him this affirmation, right? He said, look, I've called you by name, and you are mine. So be encouraged, man. God has called you by name, and you belong to him.
Dope. Well, we got some dad jokes. Well, you have some dad jokes.
I do, because I'm a dad. If you're a dad, we would have another conversation.
That would be another story.
Another conversation.
We're going to have to end this podcast real quick.
I got a couple. Should I do two? I'll do two. Do two.
That's cool.
All right. Man. Okay. Here we go. You guys ready?
Mm-hmm.
Why is Peter Pan always flying?
Why is Peter Pan always flying?
I have no clue.
Yeah, why is that?
Because he never lands.
Right.
Come on, thank you.
You get some laughs.
I felt that was good. I felt that. All right, here's my second one. Okay. Why can't a leopard hide?
Why can't a leopard hide? Why?
He's always spotted.
Because a leopard has spots.
Leopard has spots.
Yeah, but you don't get no laugh.
Did you see the pause?
I saw what you did there.
So I tried to set it up. I don't know if it worked.
Comedic timing.
I don't know if it helped though.
It didn't help at all?
Yeah.
I think you guys are haters. It's okay.
Wow. Well, yeah, it's cool this is episode 2 of many. And
that means it's the second episode.
Yes. Yeah. And the title of this one is Mamba Mentality. You know, I realized that our first episode came out on January 26th, which also happened to be the 2-year anniversary of Kobe passing away.
Yeah.
So that just reminded me of some things of like, one, what was that time? Like, where were you when you heard the news? What was your reaction?
Yeah.
What was that like?
I think it was a Sunday.
It was a Sunday.
It was a Sunday. I remember coming home from church and getting a text like, did you hear? Mm-hmm. And typically when you get a text message, like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then I'm I'm looking at ESPN and you see the crash.
Yeah.
And they're like, everything isn't like, solidified, or people aren't like giving detail to what's going on. So I think when I did see that it was Kobe, I think that was one of the first times I actually cried for someone who I really didn't know. Right? It's like, man, I thought about him as a father. I thought about him as just you grew up with Kobe, right? You grew up watching him from Philly, or right outside of Philly. I had a chance to meet Kobe once. I don't think I ever told you that.
Yeah.
I met him at a Rite Aid.
Really?
Yeah, that's right.
Wow.
I knew his cousin, so his cousin was up there. He's like, "Yo, come up here, Kobe's here." So we went up the street, and he was in the car chilling. But yeah, that was my only time meeting him. But still, like, you grow up with this bigger than life figure who you mimic on the court. So yeah, when he did pass away, man, it was devastating, right, to see like somebody so young. Like he had his whole life. Granted, he retired from the NBA, but like the second chapter of his life was just getting started. So I think that that really hit me in a difficult way.
Yeah. Yeah. I think for me, similar experience, it was just a moment of like disbelief. Like this didn't happen. Cause I think it was a group text. I think mom sent it to us in a group text, and I was like, no, this can't be real. And then I start looking ESPN, and they're starting to confirm it. And for me, I think similarly, like, he was the first person I didn't know, and it's like, yo, this has really hit me. Yeah. Because for me, I mean, I was born 99, so in a lot of ways, Kobe was my MJ. Like, I never saw MJ play live.
Sure.
So Kobe was the guy that I saw as that figure. So yeah, it was definitely tough. I mean, what kind of sums up my fandom of Kobe? He is my favorite player ever. In spite of me being a Celtics fan. And that doesn't make sense, right?
Like a mix of mutts.
that doesn't make any sense.
It's a little weird.
But it is weird. It is weird. But I'm like, I just loved Kobe.
Yeah, Kobe was a killer, man.
Yeah. What are some of your Kobe memories?
In sports?
Yeah.
The game when he dropped 81 on Toronto.
That's ridiculous.
Like here's the thing. When I saw the box score, I thought the score was 81. I thought the Lakers had scored 81 points. And I was like, wait. That's one person. Yeah. I said, how do you – and here's the thing. He didn't play like half of the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
So he could have dropped 100 in the basketball game. That will never be done again.
Yeah. It's quite ridiculous.
And I don't think there's footage of Wilt dropping 100.
Right.
You see a picture of him holding the sign 100, but to drop 81 points in a game,
it's a lot of points.
That's a lot of points, man.
In a professional basketball
That's
game.
a lot of points.
Yeah, my favorite Kobe memory, it was probably the Orlando series, I think. And they're up 2-0. He's being interviewed, and the guy's like,
"Oh, they're up 2-0."
The Lakers are up 2-0.
Oh yeah, I think.
And they're like, he's like, I mean, you're up 2-0. Can I get a smile out of you? He was like, smile for what?
For what? We're not done.
Job not done. And it was just like, it's so Kobe, like how, like that mentality that we're talking about of like, we got to finish the job. So yeah, Kobe's my guy. But I think one of the things you alluded to, he surprisingly post NBA career was like making a run for having a better second half.
Yeah.
He won an Oscar.
Yep.
That's crazy. But then we really got to see him as a father, with his daughters, with Gigi, teaching her the game and all of those things.
Yeah.
And it made me think of girl dads. And you happen to be a girl dad.
But before you get to that, what's crazy? So where the Mamba came from?
Where the Mamba came from.
Yeah, so I was reading this thing. It says how Kobe took a name from Kill Bill.
Yeah.
Right? But then he said, I wanted to separate my personal and my professional life. Yeah. So on the court, I'm the Black Mamba.
Yeah.
I thought that was dope.
Yeah.
But girl dad, what you got?
Yeah, what's that like for you, having two girls?
I do have two girls, Amanda and Caitlin. It's crazy because like when you think of girl dad, and I don't know if I find myself in this space alone, but I love my girls.
Yeah.
like the affection and all those other things that come with being a girl dad, but also like I'm extremely I'm extremely protective.
Yeah.
And then I am praying for the day where someone comes to me and says, "Hey, Mr. Daniels, I'd like to take your daughter." I'm like, "Nah."
Wow.
That's gonna be a hard no.
That should be fun.
I'm like, you know what I would say to them? I would say, "Go out with me first. Take me out first." And the things that you would do to her, do to me first.
That's
How you treat her? Like, you want to kiss me first.
He gonna put his hand on your knee.
Right. You want to touch me? Let me touch you back.
wow. Yeah, that's something. Well, and Ryan, Mel is 3 now?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so you're
She's
a
3.
girl dad. What's that like for you?
It's interesting because when Em was pregnant, I'm like, I wanted to be a boy.
Yeah.
And when I got the news that I think we all as guys have, at least a lot of guys, have this thing about just wanting your firstborn to be a guy. You can impart everything you know.
Right.
And so when I found out that it was a girl, I was excited, but I didn't know how to deal with that.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, well we'll see what happens. And man, she's just so amazing. It's not any different than being a dad of a boy. It's just like, it's really, really cool. She gets both of us. So there are a lot of times I see Emily and her, and there's a lot of times where we'll have a face off because I'm like, oh, that's Ryan. I don't like that, but it's okay.
Oh man, yeah, that must be something.
So for you, man, what is it like to have sisters?
I think I have
and the fact that you're 20,
right? Yeah, there's
a lot of age gap between.
It's a gap, man, huge gap.
So with me and Amanda, 11 year difference with me and Amanda, if I'm doing that correctly.
She's 12.
Yeah, she's 11.
She's 11.
Yeah. And then with Kate, 15 years. So like it's
imagine?
A weird dynamic.
You like her daddy.
I'm gonna tell you
exactly.
Daddy.
Yeah, that's what that's how I feel sometimes.
When you hit like 30-ish,
that's gonna be.
They're gonna be like, "Hey, I'm going to Davier's house."
That's gonna be. It's
I'm
gonna
going
be
to Davier's house.
He won't unlock the door.
I'm gonna call you like that. Yeah, get your kids, man. No, I love them as if they like were my daughters. I think like that's because of the age difference. Like I'm still their brother, but I think we have it's cool. We have a multi-layered kind of relationship. And that, I'm a brother. But I think I also provide a certain kind of leadership just because of the age gap. So
they're
giving me good practice.
How do you feel about having daughters eventually? Like we talked about it on the last show.
We did 4 kids.
You said you wanted 5
not the
kids.
5. No.
What's one more though?
I know it's just one more, bro.
Are you gonna have 5, sir?
I mean,
huh?
we not talking about me right now.
we can shift to that. No, I mean, I guess ideally 2 and 2 boys, 2 girls would be cool. What
if you had all girls?
Oh my gosh, I
pray your strength in the Lord.
That would be something.
I feel like
that would no.
I feel like this isn't like I'm not prophet lying to you.
Okay,
but I feel like you're gonna have 3 girls.
You can feel what you want to feel. I'm saying.
So let me ask you this: so if you had 3 girls, right, back to back to back, would you still try for another one and say, I'm holding off for that boy?
I would, just like Kobe did. Kobe was trying to get that boy. Yeah, that would be. I mean, that's how I think one of our favorite families, the Wells family.
Yeah,
that's all girls. That's
how many girls?
Like,
5,
6,
6,
something like that.
Shout out to the Wells family, man. We love y'all.
Yeah. So I mean, that'll be fun though. But I think the other side of this conversation is like kind of what we were talking about in the beginning, with the devastation of Kobe passing.
Yeah.
There's a level of disappointment that comes with that.
Yeah.
So I think the conversation started, how do we, not just as men, but as just people, like how do we handle disappointment?
It was challenging, man. I think there are layers to disappointment, right? You experience it in infancy and childhood when you're a teenager, but then people think it gets easier when you're an adult. It doesn't.
Yeah.
like I think I faced tons of disappointment over the last 2 years of just with passing of loved ones or just things not kind of going the way you want them to go. Yeah, so I think dealing with disappointment is layers, and I think the first thing that I've learned to try to do, and I don't think I've mastered it yet, or I'm great at it yet, of just taking my concern to God, like being really honest and just transparent with God.
Yeah,
like we feel like God is just this being who's so far off where we can't like be completely 100 with God and say, yo, this sucks right now. Like this, I'm really struggling. I'm in a lot of pain, and I don't know what to do with it. Right, so. I think when it comes to disappointment, one of the first things I had to learn to do was like, listen, like talk to God about it. Like he can handle the brunt of your hurt, your despair. I mean, he says to cast all your care. And we read that like, I cast your care, but I don't know if God really cares, right?
Right.
But in those spaces, man, I've really learned to really trust that God actually cares.
Yeah.
Right. So if he says he cares, I got to make sure that I trust him in the fact that he says he does. But also just be honest with him. And I don't know how many of us as men are honest with God, primarily because I don't think we're honest with each other, right? So it's like we live this front, right, or we put on this facade that everything is great, everything is Gucci, like I'm good, my life is great, no, I don't got no problems. You ever ask somebody how you doing? Like, oh, I'm good. Yeah, that's like the first
default response.
Yeah, it's like I'm good, but you hurting, bro. Like you really struggling with life. But I think we're the same way with God. Like, like, God, I'm good. No, I'm good. No, when we're hurting, and you can tell God that you're actually hurting.
Yeah, and I think it talks about another thing that we've been talking a lot about lately. Is like what kind of lenses are you wearing, right? So like when you're facing disappointment or these situations that don't work in your favor, there's a perspective that we have that I think automatically shifts our point of view and perspective.
Yeah.
So if no matter what happens, the lenses that we have is, well, God is good.
Yeah.
Even in disappointment, I can say, yeah, God, this sucks, but I know that you're good. So it'll work in your favor. It'll turn around. I think one of the biggest disappointments for me was heading into college.
I remember that.
Yeah, it was a situation. Won't get into the specifics
of
the situation. We want to honor. But I mean, the gist of the story was that there was one school I thought I was going to. I was really excited about it, but it didn't work out, and I ended up at another school, Eastern. Shout out Eastern.
Your wife,
and that's where I met Amaris.
Come on,
and it's like at that time I only saw the disappointment, but on the other side of that was like my biggest blessing. Yeah. And I think a lot of times that's how that works.
I thought I was your biggest blessing.
It's all right.
What happened there?
It's all right.
Wow.
It's time to leave your father and your mother.
Transition. Wow.
Leave your father and your
that
mother.
Is crazy.
Are you okay?
That is crazy.
Thank you. Are you okay? But yeah, a lot of times our biggest disappointments can be the same thing that God uses to make our biggest blessings. So.
And it's crazy because we don't see, because we don't have foresight, like we don't have vision to see like, God, what are you up to? What are you doing? Right. Yeah. And I think if we were to ask and walk so closely with God, he would actually reveal it to us. And sometimes he doesn't. And then being okay with like, all right, I don't understand this thing that I'm going through, but I know you're working it together for my good. Like Romans chapter 8, I know you're working all things together for my good. So I think one of the things, even when you bring your concern, bring your disappointment to God, like you got to create space to allow God to talk to you.
Yep.
Like you can't just, I'm gonna dump all of these cares on God, then I'm gonna just bounce and leave. No. Yeah. You bring your concern, like bring your hurt, bring your disappointment, but look, create space where, all right, God, I need you just to kind of clear some things up.
Yeah.
I need to talk to my heart, right? Because right now this doesn't make sense, and I want it to make sense, and I want to live in a space of peace, but I don't have it. But I need you to talk to me.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's really important for guarding your heart, right? And maintaining just a healthy intake of what you're seeing, what you're hearing. So like, even to go back to the Kobe story, actually, I think it was a blessing that during that time, the last few years, our church have done fast to start the year. So we were on a 40-day fast during the time, like when he passed away.
Yep.
And one of the things I was fasting from was social media. So it was like, I couldn't have imagined being on social media during that time. Yeah. Because it's like,
I wasn't fasting social media at that time. That was
but
my joint was flooded.
Yeah, and that can happen, right? And then you're seeing all these things, you're hearing all these things, and it's furthering the impact of what happened. So guarding your heart in those moments are super important, and filling yourself with those correct lenses of, hey, God is still good.
Yo, how do you handle like even in like our relationship, because we've had disappointment.
We have.
I think, and I'll be like honest. I think you've helped me when it comes to communicating hurt.
Sure.
Right. So it's like, I think you're really good at like communicating like a hurt.
Yeah.
For me, not as much. I think I feel like I'm a good communicator, but when it comes to communicating the matters of the heart, especially the heart-to-heart conversation with men, it's like, yo, that's like really challenging, primarily because I didn't see it a whole lot growing up. So I had to learn to develop into it. But it seems like that's like comes natural to you. And for you, how does that come natural to you? And how do you handle this disappointment kind of when we navigate life together? What's that look like?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think it definitely wasn't always that way. I think similarly, and still today, I mean, I still have a struggle at times with expressing how things make me feel.
Sure.
But I think the thing that has helped is, so with us, the thing that helps is realizing that our relationship is more important than this barrier that's in front of me. Like the barrier of, I don't know if I want to express this. Because the flip side of that is bitterness. So it's like, do I want to stay bitter, or do I want to, be in a place where our relationship can thrive? So with us, it's just being able to have that foresight and have that perspective of like, at the end of the day, I love you, you love me. Shout out to Barney.
Shout out to Barney. Was your guy?
He was for a very long time.
Very long time.
I feel you, brother. Okay, I grew up on Barney. Okay, come on. We're a happy
Barney
family.
Yes.
No.
Yes, we are.
You got a problem with Barney?
I don't have a problem with Barney, but you and Barney.
All right, and before you go on a rant, don't exaggerate things either. If you're gonna say it was until I was like
12,
5, 6,
12,
I carried around a Barney doll,
everywhere you went.
A Barney action figure.
It wasn't. It was a stuffed animal.
Was it plastic?
It was a stuffed animal.
Okay.
It was a stuffed animal.
That's not an action figure.
It was an action figure.
He said an action figure.
But no, like just realizing that I know how we feel about each other, and that'll always be more important than anything that we face.
That's a good statement.
Yeah,
like we know how we feel about each other, so that overshadows anything. That, I mean, it goes back to like love is always ready to believe the best.
Yeah,
like it's ready to tackle any challenge. So I think that's dope, man. I think what is the biggest disappointment that you had to face that was non-relational? Like a non-relational disappointment that you had to hurdle, that you had to kind of like navigate and like really like, all right, I need to do these things to be better in this space.
That is a great question. I think
Did I stump you?
No, I'm trying to figure out something different than what I just mentioned with the school thing.
And that was big.
That's one of them. Because that was, I don't know if you remember that time, but I was hurt.
I remember. I was
hurt.
I was calling up to the school. I was going up to the school. I was
I was so hurt.
Getting people to march. And,
that was a lot.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I would say that one, and actually, I mean, probably about a year ago, I think. So if y'all remember from episode 1, so grad student, almost graduating, also working full time, relationships, ministry. So like I do a lot of things.
Sure.
And I think last year I got to a point where I realized, and usually I'm able to carry it. But there was a time last year where I couldn't.
Yeah.
Like it got to a point where I was like, I'm not Superman. And I had tried to be Superman for so long, and that realization, that humbling of realizing that, you're not as strong as you think you are. Initially, that's like a shock.
Yeah.
Because I had functioned that way for so long. But then again, it's like the thing that's a disappointment turns into a blessing, because it helped me to learn how to lean on God and how to trust in him and allow him to carry my burden. But yeah, that initial realization that I'm not Superman.
Yeah.
And I think even Holy Spirit has convicted me on that, because even me calling it Superman is me sugarcoating it a little bit. The reality is, I try to be God at times.
Sure. Yeah.
So that experience of being humbled that way initially was like a major identity disappointment, all those things. But yeah, the way I got over that was, like I said before, what lenses are you wearing? So the lens I had was that I know how God feels about me. So this conviction is leading me to something better. He has something greater for me. So I think that's my.
I just wish we all could see that, man. Like, I think the struggle is like I'm so deep in this current state or this current space, and I can't see past the hurt or the disappointment.
Yeah.
And for a lot of us, it becomes paralyzing.
Yeah.
A lot of people just get stuck, but you can't see past, like, all right, what's on the opposite side of this wall?
Yeah.
Like, and there's times I wish, man, God would just kind of reveal what's on the opposite side of the wall. But sometimes he doesn't.
Yeah.
And I think we got to be okay with not knowing. I mean, I heard somebody say this years ago, like it's okay to go through the storm, but knowing that Jesus is in the boat with you.
Yeah.
Like knowing that he's in the boat. Okay, I got this thing that I'm going through, but the comfort of knowing that he's present, that he's there, but we have to acknowledge it. Like, all right, man, I really need just some perspective.
Yeah.
During this time, man. So
that's good.
I love that you do mental health tips, because you yourself. So we had a conversation.
We did
probably, I don't know, a couple of days ago.
Mm-hmm.
I was asking you, and I'm going to express a hurt right now.
Okay.
Are you ready for this?
I know where
this is
going.
fresh.
I was wondering, because when I said it,
my heart.
There wasn't a reaction.
I didn't react because I didn't know what to say. We were at the dining room table.
Yep.
Were we eating? No, we were playing a game.
The greatest game ever created. Well, a version of the greatest.
Monopoly. We love Monopoly. So we're playing the card game for Monopoly. And I asked you, I was like, hey, so where you see yourself in 5 to 10 years? And you guys were talking, you and the Maris. I was like, oh, this is great. I'm just getting to know you guys a little more, hear your heart. And then I was like, so, if you had to move, like, yeah, I'm leaving. Like, there was no hesitation.
Well, what did you say, Davier? If
there was no hesitation.
What did you say?
May I provide some context?
Wait a second. Okay. I want to finish what I'm saying first. There was no hesitation in you saying, oh, yeah, I'll just leave. I'll just get up and leave. Now you can provide your context.
Okay. Skip.
Skip.
No. So that's not exactly what happened.
Okay. What exactly happened?
1, it was 10 years.
Okay, 10 years.
Where do I see myself in 10 years?
True.
2, so first of all, context for the people. My goal is to be a sports psychologist. So I want to be able to work with athletes, counsel, help enhance performance, all of those good things. And I would love to work for a professional sports team.
Why can't you work at Lee Elementary School as a sports psychologist? No. You don't want to.
What do they play at Lee Elementary School?
No.
You went to Cassidy.
I did.
Shout out to Cassidy Elementary School.
Cassidy Elementary.
You can go and be a sports psychologist.
What sports they play over in Cassidy?
Playground. Yeah, I'm not doing that. But that actually led to me saying, well, 1, so a professional sports team. There are, and the NBA and NFL are my targets.
Okay.
And that's 62 options. 32 in the NFL, 30 in the NBA.
A lot of options.
Right. Now, locally, I said it would be great if it was Philadelphia or
how would you feel doing that? Like, would you root
by
for
Philadelphia? I mean the Sixers.
Okay. All right.
I mean the Sixers. I don't know. But yeah, my preference is to stay close. But if that team in Texas calls, then,
Texas, I don't mind.
Okay, well,
that I don't mind because that's God's country.
Okay,
I don't mind you going to Texas.
But yeah, if a Denver calls,
if a Toronto calls,
you
going? You gonna go to Canada?
I would go to Canada.
Okay,
I would.
You talk about leaving, goodness.
But it's only for a season, right? Because I still have the goal of creating my own thing.
Yes, you do.
And then being more local. So that's the goal. Also.
So you would just leave me?
No,
but why is it?
I'm always with you.
Why is it leaving you?
You're always. Who are you? Are you the Holy Spirit?
No, I'm
always.
I'm
with
in
you.
your heart. Oh my gosh! And through FaceTime.
All right, man. Let's. What mental health tip you got for us today?
Yeah. So kind of off of this disappointment talk, I think one of the great things that is kind of just accessible to us is something called mindfulness. And from that comes a gratefulness journal. This is just, after you wake up, before you go to bed, taking some time to maybe write 5 to 10 things you're grateful for every day, right? So the key really is specificity. So
can you say that word again?
No, because if I say it again, I'm gonna mess it up.
Okay,
right. I was saying it in my head a few times to make sure I got it. But yeah, the key is being as specific as possible. So rather than just saying, "Hey, I'm grateful for my family," the statement would be, "I'm grateful that Dad realized I was running late, so he took out the trash for me." Like something like that, right? So
Are you asking me to take the trash out next
No,
month?
Okay. The trash is full at the house. But it's a really great exercise. Research shows that it increases positivity, self-esteem, sleep, happiness, reduces stress. So all of these great things that come from this simple exercise. Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah,
I think I'm going to try that.
Yeah, it's good stuff. I also have to get better than that. I want to get to a place where I'm consistent with that.
Yeah. Well, look, this next segment is one of our. What did I say? Did I say?
I don't know what you said.
Can you say that again? Can you say that one more time?
This next segment is one of our favorites, and it is called
They Did What? I'm excited about this one.
You go ahead.
I'm very excited about this one. So, Valentine's Day passed, right?
Yes.
And people all over the world, obviously couples all over the world, roses and chocolates and dinner and all these good things. But the Bronx Zoo had a different perspective.
Come on.
They said
outside the box.
They said for Valentine's Day, we will let you name a roach after your sweetheart. For $15, you got. Thank you. You got to pay for it too, though. It's $15.
You gotta pay $15 to name your girlfriend after a roach.
And the quote.
I don't know what's worse, like the fact that you naming a roach after, or the fact that your girl is only worth $15.
Listen,
or the fact that you got to tell her.
Yeah, how do you,
Ryan? Hey, I got this for you. What is it,
Ryan? How do you tell M that you for Valentine's Day you named a roach after her? What's that conversation like?
Is this a real question?
It's a real question. Let's just say hypothetically, you decided to do this. For the people out here who actually did it, how did it go? What do you think?
So
she would cut you.
So we gonna leave my wife's nationality out of this. She gonna catch you. But yeah, she probably would cut me.
That's and the quote was also.
Can you read the quote? Read it slow, please.
Yeah, so they said the rationale for doing this: roaches are forever. Roses and chocolates come and go, but roaches last in eternity. Just like our love.
But don't roaches die?
I guess not, because they last in eternity, just like our love.
There's always that joke that like roaches would outlast the nuclear thing or whatever. So,
but there's roach spray. I can spray something and I can kill the roaches.
I've killed a few roaches. Yeah. But I just thought that was I don't even know. Hey babe, so what you get me?
I got this.
You want to go see Amaris real quick?
Who's that?
You named the animal after me? Oh my God.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I did.
Let's go see it.
Something
Where is
like
that? It's the giraffe?
That little roach, baby.
The roach.
Ain't he cute?
Yeah, that would be a bad Valentine's Day.
Look, top 75 NBA list came out.
That did come out.
Yeah, just recently.
It was maybe some snubs on there. Maybe a few.
Not maybe. There definitely was.
Definitely a few.
But not necessarily the ones we're all thinking about.
Can we not do that right now?
Okay, let's go through the list first.
Well, no, your guy was on there.
My guy was on there.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
He's
on there.
Yeah, it got us thinking about top 5 players of all time. Yeah.
You want to reveal your list first?
Sure, I can do that. So my top 5 NBA players of all time. Maybe I don't think it's too my number 2 might be a little controversial.
Okay. We'll see.
But obviously, number 1, Michael Jordan.
Okay, he is the GOAT.
Number 2, Kobe Bryant.
Bias, but I love Kobe.
It is. See, here's my thing with Kobe. Whenever we talk about who's the closest thing we've ever seen to Michael Jordan,
We say Kobe.
we always say Kobe.
Yeah.
So in my mind, I'm like,
If he's the closest, he has to be second.
why does that not make him the second
Sure.
best? So yeah, Kobe, Kareem, Abdul. 4, I have Bron, and 5, Magic Johnson. Those are my top 5.
Really?
Yeah,
That's a solid top 5.
yeah. You don't have an issue with that?
You got Jordan, Bryant, Kareem, LeBron, and Magic. I do have an issue with it, but that's just your
Oh
preference.
my goodness.
You ready for mine?
No, but go ahead.
Wow.
Go ahead.
Well, my top 2 are the same as yours
Okay.
because I got Mike, number 1. I think he's the GOAT.
Yep.
I think the baby GOAT is Kobe.
Yep.
I actually love Kobe, right?
Yeah.
Where we differ is 3 and 4 and 5.
Okay.
So number 3, and hear me out, because this man changed the game, the way you defend the ball.
Okay.
You ready? Chef Curry.
At 3?
He be cooking.
I love stuff. But
No, listen. The way that now you have to play, you have to defend at half court.
he has changed the game.
You have to defend at half court.
That is true.
You go to any playground
That is
in the city
true.
of Philadelphia. People are not working on layups and dunks. I'm trying to shoot this 3. You 6'25", 6 feet
Shooting
25
threes.
inches, shooting threes. If you don't take your big self down to the block,
Shooting 3.
shooting threes.
Okay.
So he's on my top 5.
Okay.
Next, I have Wilt Chamberlain.
Okay.
Changed the game.
Average 50.
He changed the game,
Yeah.
right? And then my next one is a tie.
Oh my gosh. Here we go.
It's a tie. I have LeBron and Carmelo Anthony. It's the tie.
Now,
All right. Well, this episode was fun. It's a wrap. Bruh,
Listen, I have LeBron and Carmelo Anthony in the 5 spot.
I don't know what's worse, the fact that you have LeBron 5 or the fact that you have him in the same category as Carmelo Anthony.
Okay, listen. I understand what you're saying, but I love LeBron.
No, you don't.
I do. I love what he does for
Off the
culture.
court. You love
him because he's on the same team with Carmelo. Now,
No, that's not why.
I don't think you loved him last
I
year.
love the fact that this man gives back to his community. I love the
does.
fact that he has a school.
He's a good dude.
All of the things that
He's
he
a very
does,
good man.
culture. I love that.
Very good man.
Yeah, but on the court, I just prefer Melo over LeBron, and that's just my preference.
So, for some context, my dad is obsessed with Carmelo Anthony.
I don't want to use the word obsessed.
No, I might.
It's unhealthy.
I would say
Any basketball conversation, Carmelo somehow
He's
finds himself.
always
What-
in
He's in
conversation.
places he don't need to be.
you do not belong here, sir.
How'd you get on this list?
That's my 5.
That is your 5.
You got a 5, Ryan?
Yeah, so my 5 is a lot like Davier's. I got Mike number 1. I have, and maybe it's an unpopular opinion, I have LeBron second.
I know you do.
I have LeBron and I don't like LeBron, but I have LeBron second because I had to come to grips with the fact that he is a very
He's a great player.
he is.
He
Yeah.
is. He's
Yeah.
right now in the league. He's the 3rd best player in the NBA right now.
Well, okay.
Maybe the 4th best.
Well, okay.
The 4th best.
So
All right.
I'll
Finish your
get
list.
back to that.
Please
Yeah,
finish your
I'll
list, please.
so I got Kobe number 3.
Okay.
I do like Magic.
Yeah.
I would put Magic number 4.
Yeah.
And somebody that's not on this list, and this is strictly just because I think there's value in championships.
Yeah.
I put Bill Russell up there.
Okay,
he
that's
got
I can't
11
argue.
of them
with that.
things.
I thought you were gonna say Robert Ory.
He's not on anybody's.
He said Robert Ory.
Yeah. Did you want to address? You about to address something?
I was. So I think right now LeBron is probably the 4th or the 5th best player in the league now. At this stage of his career.
So we're not talking
All right,
about Mike's not in the league.
No, yeah,
Kobe's
You talking
not in
about
the
right
league.
now?
Right now.
Who's
I would put Giannis. I would put Embiid. I would put Curry
Are you talking about they having better seasons or they're better than LeBron?
right now, today, this
Okay.
season.
Okay. Then
This
okay,
season.
That's
Yeah.
okay.
That's a fair statement. I'm not making anything up. And I will put Carmelo right. He's right next to LeBron. That's
Yeah.
in that category.
All right. Well, actually, on this note, we gonna head out
here at the Lions Den. Y'all pray for us.
Yo, man, thank you so much for tuning in to the Lions Den. This is your boy e.daniels with the Young Gun,
Davier, and
our producers on the ones and twos. Let's get it.
Come on.
Yo.
We out of here. Peace.
Peace.